And people will remember that in the year 2002, Loretta Knoll's first efforts to help someone we know in Alabama, Moulton, Alabama, Webster Alexander, was sentenced to 26 years in prison, which through our assistance and attention to Rolling Stone magazine and a variety of other media, we were able to get the judge to substantially reduce that during a sentencing hearing afterwards. But Webster Alexander was sold a total of 2 ounces of marijuana to an undercover cop within like 1,000 feet of his school. And
it was actually at his home. He lived within close enough to the school, and the cop gave him rides home if he would sell him a bit of pot and stuff, and badgered him to sell him the pot. He was at his house. He purposely left the school grounds and went to his home to do it. So he wasn't doing it at the school, but he still lived close enough to get nabbed with that. So that.
26 years for a young man. So and it's crazy because that costs 26 years. It costs about say $40,000 to imprison someone for a year in the United States. And so it's like saying the taxpayer is literally willing to spend $1 million to put a 19-year-old kid in jail for 2 ounces of pot. $1 million. People think that this is a reasonable expenditure. Trimble County Schools to up the ante on school drug searches. This is from February 3rd, 4 days ago, and it wasn't actually an arrest. It was just a new plan to prevent students from bringing drugs into Trimble County Schools as a secret. I don't want to make it public, Superintendent Gary Jackson said. That's for the safety of our students. However, the district already hires canine drug enforcement units several times a year to conduct routine unannounced searches at the middle and high schools in Trimble County. So that's, there they are, dogs in the schools regularly. Now, from the Miami Herald last 30th of June, Broward School Board will consider a new aerosol that can be used in schools to detect drug residue on desks, lockers, or clothing. 2 years after approving the use of drug-sniffing dogs in Broward County schools may have another narcotic-fighting weapon, an aerosol spray that detects residue on school desks or backpacks, similar to bomb detection equipment used in airports. And a 15-year-old Maryland girl on May 13th, 2004 was forced to undergo a humiliating and degrading strip search at the hands of the local sheriff's deputies.
Well, actually, I can bring something about that, because there's been a lot of, I think, the subtext in some of these things is principals and vice principals who want to be able to strip search young teenage girls, and that certainly happens a lot. There was a case in Texas from last year, and the mother is suing because the assistant principal personally searched 12 female students on an anonymous tip, which you wouldn't say who gave them the tip, and the students all say they were groped and their breasts were felt and whatnot by this guy, and so the lawsuit, which is still in progress. But I think that you gave an example there of a girl being searched in that.
Well,
I think that's pretty common. It gives them a lot of power.
Hundreds of thousands of women in Canada have been strip searched because of the drug war, and millions of American women over the last 30 years. I was strip searched all the time, both when I was in prison and when I was arrested and coming through airports and stuff like that. I mean, it's just a very bad, cheesy way for adults to fondle youthful people and sexually humiliate them. I've always contended that strip searches are always unnecessary. Anything you can fit into a bodily part is no threat to the state. And here's something that happened on February 4th last year. 49 Alamance County high school students in North Carolina were arrested on marijuana charges after a 6-month undercover operation. The bust was the largest ever conducted in Alamance County, and the first to involve all 6 high schools. Police arrested 2 Chelmsford high school students. By the way, this just happened 4 days ago, but I didn't even think it was important enough. Who allegedly brought painkiller OxyContin to schools. There was not enough to think they were going to sell it, but they've been suspended and charged with fines. And then on top of which, as we know, the Higher Education Act of 1998 in the United States bars any student with a marijuana conviction from getting any kind of student loans or federal aid to go to school, and that's impacted on millions and millions of American students. So the things that happen when you smoke pot are absolutely incredible.